Morning guys, welcome to day 3 of my Watagan Mountains week. What a beautiful morning, a little bit brisk, but hardly a cloud in the sky, a couple of little ones, a little bit of a breeze, and no noise but the birds and the wind. Beautiful. I had a pretty good sleep again last night. As per usual, some people think that the car might be a bit cramped, but they're actually really comfortable. Could go a little bit of a thicker mattress, but otherwise. So, today, the plan is to do the Abbotts Falls Walking Trail. Obviously, I'll stay here, stay parked up. That's why one of the reasons I've camped down this end this week is because it is closer to the main walks that I want to do. So, not too far from here, I plan to do the Abbotts Falls Trail. From what I've calculated through Gaia GPS, it's about a 6 to 6.5 kilometre round trip. But after about 2 k's or something, you get out onto German Point Road. And from German Point Road, it's easy walking trails. You can drive through there with no dramas, as long as you watch the bog holes. And then it comes out from German Point Road through Casuarina Camp Ground, Old Mill picnic area, Onley headquarters campground, and then back through this way. So, so that's the cards for today. I'll see how the walk-in goes. I may not end up doing all the way out to German Point Road and doing that, because that's honestly the longest part of the walk, and it's just another friggin' track, really. It's just another road. Last time we went along German Point Road, which was when I was with my brother, it was absolutely chockers with rubbish, where people had been down there camping and just dumping their crap on the way home, on the way through. So, but anyway, so Abbotts Falls Walking Trail will be on the cards for today. For now, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy my coffees and have some breakfast. Because it's one of the best things about being out in the bush. There's no rush. Alright, cheers guys. Alrighty, so here I am at the start of the Abbotts Falls Walking Trail. Haven't done this one yet before. I've done the first maybe kilometre of it, but sure as heck haven't done the whole thing. So should be an interesting walk, and apparently there's a beautiful waterfall at the end of it, or halfway through. And given the rain that we have had recently, it should be quite nice. So here we go, heading down the trail. So this is the first real section of the trail here. You can see that it's quite popular with motorbikes, as it has been ripped out pretty well. My footprint's already here. So I have walked some of this over the last couple of days. There's actually a little creek just at the bottom here, which I quite like. So I have walked some of this. Now coming up onto this little creek crossing. I haven't seen this flowing very fast, but it's quite nice. One thing I really love about this spot is there's heaps of tadpoles in the water here. So I'm going to stop and grab a couple of photos if I can. One thing I definitely find interesting about this little patch of water is this is coming through here. It's crystal clear. It comes through from up that way. Absolutely crystal clear through here. But then there's a spot a little bit downstream which I walked to yesterday. It's not far from the camp, just down this way. And it's called the Dam. It's not Boarding House Dam, don't get me wrong there. It's called the Dam. And it's just this little spot with a little man-made dam for logging trucks or whatever it might have been. And the water there is absolutely putrid. It's real muddy, like we saw in the last episode at as we were doing the Pines Walking Trail. It was real muddy. Now this does actually flow down into that section of the Pines Walking Trail. It's just interesting that it's so clear here, so beautiful here, yet absolutely filthy. You can't see an inch into the water a couple hundred metres downstream. So, spiderweb. Alrighty, so we're going to keep on walking up this trail now. Again, this does get pretty regularly used by motorbikes. So there's some sections of this that I know are quite chewed out. Okay, so just a short walk and we cut through onto Howes Road. The spiderwebs already annoying me. So here we've got Howes Road. This has been shown on the VMS video that I did. Not a difficult road to drive down. And there's a couple of clearings, including the dam, down the bottom end of it. So, wouldn't mind checking out the dam one weekend for a camp, actually. They do occasionally have rave parties up here, I've noticed. And I believe it's down the end of Howes Road that they have them. Alright, gonna shut up and keep walking. Notice the track's starting to become quite wet. It was quite dry up the top there. Looks like there must be a little bit of water seeping out from under the ground. There's been a heck of a lot of rain up on the Central Coast and around this area over the last week, so it's not really surprising. And that should mean that both Abbotts Falls and Gap Creek Falls, when I do that later in the week, should be flowing beautifully. I'm also noticing some other footprints here now. Yesterday near camp there was a Mazda BT50 parked, so I'm guessing he's done this trail. Yes, I'm guessing that BT50 that was parked up near camp yesterday would have belonged to those footprints. As you can see, it's getting quite washed out here. Starts becoming a lot more difficult. It does get a little bit harder further down too, so I'm going to stop filming. I'll keep the shoulder cam on and keep going from here. Well, that's a bit interesting. Don't normally hear chatter on, especially on the handheld, on channels like 32. 32 is one of the duplex or the repeater channels. So that means those people could effectively be in Sydney. but given I'm on a handheld, I doubt that. And I don't seem to get a lot on repeaters. They don't seem to be very active, so shame. Alright, continue walking. So there's just a little chute up coming up through here again. So far it hasn't been an overly difficult walk. In fact, it's actually been quite easy, except for one little spot where I kicked a rock or something and almost went over. Just not watching my footing. But as you can see here, there's a number of different trails that the bikes take. So it's just a matter of picking which one you want to take. As much as I'd say it's a pain that the motorbikes get in here and rip it all up, like they do, it's state forest, it's here for all of us. There's a little creek and it sounds like a little bit of a waterfall just to my left here too. Now I have done this section before. I don't particularly remember a waterfall. So let's get down here and see if I can spot it. So we're up here. And then it drops down through all the palms and everything down into there. It'd be beautiful to get down there, but I don't know, a trail? I don't know how steep it is or how impossible it is. That's quite cool. Even just standing here, you can hear the water trickling up through the top here. It's quite nice, you can hear it down the bottom. It looks like it comes down, stops at a level around here. You can see it sort of flowing through a little bit there, and then just to the edge there, drops off again. There's about 3 or 4 different levels through here. That's a big drop too. I'm going to see if I can get down there without breaking my neck. Yeah, looking at that, it's a pretty steep climb. I don't fancy doing that at the moment. I know this isn't the main falls. No, it's not. Go away. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's a track down on this side. Looks like there could be a bit of a rough, worn track down the other side, but I really don't fancy trying to climb down that. It looks a little bit too steep. And as it's not a worn track, I'd rather sort of stay off it. So we'll continue on up here. So there's a metal pole, as I thought, with a rough arrow. And this brings us out on Abbotts Road. Never actually driven this, so I don't know what the road is like past this, heading back up to the main road. But from here, it's a bit of a hill climb, not too bad. And then at the end of the road, we get to the next section of the walking trail. Got another big ant's nest there, big ant mound. Probably about as tall as I am again. Listen to all that noise. Oh, shut up, radio. You're rolling in the place.
Come through right now, brother. Thanks anyway.
Now there's 2 trails. one off to the right there, which is the one we want to go to. And there's one just to the left here, which I spotted last time. I just want to go and have a quick look at something. I walked in here last time I was here, sort of not knowing what it was. It's gone. Oh no, there it is. Just tapping on the ground in case there's any Joe Blakes running around. Or slithering around. Yep, there it is. It looks like somebody had made some sort of a little camp down here at one point. So there we go, we have a naturally occurring dunny and about 20 litres of water by the look of that, thereabouts. So I don't know if somebody is actually living here or what the deal is, but yeah, there's a dunny down here and water. So I don't know what that's all for. There's a little bit of a trail that pushes through down here, but yeah, definitely not a spot I'd expect to see a toilet. Don't think I'd want to use it either. Just spotted this sign as well. Let's flip it over, see if it says anything on the backside. NA 564. Don't know what that means, but cool. And now, this is the next section of the Abbotts Falls Walking Trail. I didn't go any further than this last time because of how steep that is. And I had the missus back at camp. This time, I'm going to do it. I am noticing on the walk down, there's a few of these logs. Some pretty decent logs laid across the track, as you can see here. They're laid down on a bit of an angle. I'm guessing the point of those would be similar to the point of the whoop-de-doos and that on your steeper hill climbs and that. As the water comes down what is quite a steep hill, it hits these and it helps to deter it and prevent some of the erosion coming down this hill. However, over time, the erosion has caused the backlog of soil on the top side of those logs and probably doesn't do all that much anymore. Maybe it needs to be tidied up, but it's still there. And that'll be what they're for. I reckon I slowly keep finding my way down here. Okay, so those logs that are running across the track, they're all the way down here, and you can see they're actually forming nice little steps now as well. It's getting a little bit steeper. I can hear water. As you can see, there's some pretty solid steps down here. This is that vine that's growing over everything. Not sure what that is, but don't know if that's native. I don't know if it's a pest or what. Looks quite a little, nice little tunnel through here though. Whee. As per usual, camera doesn't do it justice, but damn, that's quite a steep little slippery slope. Yeah, that's right, I hit the ground. And then you've got to come down over these bloody logs. Wow. Even hanging onto this little tree here, I still managed to slip and go down a bit. Doesn't look like it gets much better either. Far out. Got to be very careful, sure-footed on this one. So just as you get to the bottom of all that real steep crap, we come across this. Nice bit of a, I wouldn't say clearing, there's a lot of the big vines and that coming through here. But it's quite cool. And temperature wise, it feels so much colder down here. Even though I'm still sweating, it does feel colder. I do have a sign here which says walking trail, but there's a bit of a path over that way. It looks like there's a path this way, so I'm not sure which way to go. I might try this way first, and then I'll come back and try the other one. Okay, definitely not an easy one down. There's a lot of moss on the rocks, so I'm guessing she's going to be pretty slippery over them. So definitely going to be careful. Oh my god, look at this. So that there's where I came down. And yeah, definitely not an easy one. Oh, temperature down here. So much cooler than the rest of the trail. So much moss covering all these rocks, ferns. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm not even at the main falls yet, from what I understand. I believe there's a few spots where the trail intercepts the creeks and the rivers. And as I said, this becomes, from memory, this becomes Dora Creek. So yeah, this flows into Dora Creek, further downstream a bit, and then flows out into Lake Macquarie. So for those of you that love fishing Lake Mac, this is where part of your water supply is coming from. Wow guys, water looks beautiful. Little sandy patch over there would be nice. Probably didn't come in the easiest way here. Oh shit. Oh man. Wow. Absolutely wow. What a spot. I'm going to chill here for 5, have a drink and a breather, and then climb back up that and continue on the rest of the trail. As I said, this isn't even the main waterfall yet, so we've got a bit to go. Well, it's a hell of a shame, really a hell of a shame, but I've got to keep moving, continue following this trail when I get to the waterfall. So, time for some fun getting back up and out of here, somehow. Alright guys, so due to the length this video is turning out, I've decided to split it into 2 parts. So I'm going to cut it off here. Please make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and you'll see when part 2 comes out next fortnight. Alright, peace guys.